Hi and welcome back to the channel, back to Talk British. Today we're going to focus on intonation, as you can see in front of you here, lesson 1. What we're going to do over the next few weeks, months, whatever, is we're going to produce small learning lessons, if you like, where I give you a certain lesson and then you can use the video as a tool to help yourself, to learn more about different aspects of the English language. So use that, and then at the end of every video I'll give you a little self-help thing that you can do to go away and practice and just become more proficient. So hopefully we enjoyed today's conversation. As you can see, we're going to have some great fun. So the first question, of course, is what is intonation? And as it says quite clearly, intonation is essentially, it's a melody. It's the sound of your voice as it goes up and it goes down. You think of a song or a conversation, or perhaps somebody telling a story, and they up and they're down. You may even hear it in my voice right now as I'm speaking. That is simply what intonation is. It's a sound. So the question becomes, how does the sound of your voice change the meaning of a sentence? Well, in essence, I'm going to give you an example of using the identical words, identical, but with a different intonation, which completely changes the meaning of what I'm saying. It gives a completely different impression. So bear with me and don't worry about any of the processes here. I'm going to go step by step and make it as logical as I possibly can, so you get the opportunity to grasp what I'm saying. But as I say, use the video as a tool. Stop, go back, read, do the whole thing. So, like I say, the same words can have different meanings depending on the melody in your voice, or as we're talking about today, the intonation. Just think of intonation, melody, it's the same thing. So I'm going to say these words out now. You can see them in yellow here. I'm going to say them with a different intonation in each case, and the explanation is already there in front of you, but I will still go through it so you kind of understand what it means. So let's start with the first one. You're early. Now that sounds either excited or questioning or surprised. So you see the rise in how the intonation, the melody went up. You're early. And now I'll give you an example with the same one in a different intonation. You're early. Very flat. Very, very cold. Very, you're early. It's like it's not a good thing. So the first one is surprised and happy. Nice, happy to see you. You're early. Great. The other one is, oh no, why are you here so early? I'm kind of not ready. So can you see the exact same words, different tone, a different intonation, has a completely different meaning. So that is why intonation is so important in the English language, and I think in many languages around the world, but today we're focusing on English. Let's talk about intonation with a little bit more explanation. So as I said, intonation is initially or essentially a melody, but the melody works like this. We have a rising sound, and when we have a rising sound, it becomes more of a questioning or an uncertainty, like, are you sure? Are you sure? You see the rise in my voice? Are you sure? So that's considered to be a rising intonation. Then, of course, we have the falling intonation, which says more about confidence or a statement. You're making a statement. I'm sure. I'm sure. Did you see the drop? Basically, you can look at the intonations as a slight, other than the melody angle across sentences, at the end of sentences when you're using an intonation, think of it as a lip up or a lip down. And so, I'm sure. It's quite statement-like. It's confidence. It's no doubt that this person is pretty sure. And then we have a combination of rising and falling, as in most languages. But when you're using, say, for a shopping list, in this example, you would give a list out like, okay, today I'm going to get apples, I'm going to get bananas and oranges. Did you see the rise, fall? So it lips up, and lips down. Let me give you a couple of examples, and this screen particularly, use it as a tool to stop and go back and perhaps practice yourself repeating these things. Do you want tea? Do you want tea? You see the rising? I'll have tea. I'll have tea. Now you may notice something else, is that my facial expressions change as well. So the rising, my eyebrows might go up, but this is about body language, not necessarily about language itself. But the I'll have tea is more, yes, I'll have tea. I'm making a statement that I will have tea. And then I'm going to go to the shops, or where I went to the shops today and I bought milk. I bought bread, and I bought butter. See? Rising, rising, falling. So practice those yourself and make a list of your own. Make your own. In fact, make a shopping list before you go shopping. And in that shopping list, use the intonations in how you read it to someone else or to yourself, to the mirror, whichever. I put together a little collection here, a couple of minutes of intonations or intonation in different people. Now, I don't want you to focus so much on the accent, because the accent in these examples is what they called RP pronunciation, received pronunciation. Don't worry about that. Whatever dialect or variation of the English language you use, you will still have intonations. Listen more for the melody and how that melody or intonation makes you feel about the statements they're making, and whether it makes a difference whether they had no intonations. So have a listen to yourself for yourself and see what you think.
I felt it deep down in myself that this was the only way at the end of the day, and I just felt it was otherwise going to fall apart.
But we do not shut ourselves up in intellectual silos. And we don't dig trenches around our positions. There is a real engagement between members of this court. It may not look that way from the outside, but our judgments are collaborative efforts, even when our opinions are divided.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, we should take, as I said before, pride in this royal throne of kings, this sceptred isle, this earth of majesty, this seat of Mars, this other Eden demi-paradise, this fortress built for nature by herself against infection and the hand of war, this happy breed of men, this little world, this precious stone set in the silver sea, which serves it in the office of a wall or as a moat defensive to a house.
Is that together we can use scientific advances to protect our entire planet, our biosphere, against a challenge far worse, far more destructive, even than coronavirus. And by the Promethean power of our invention, we can begin to defend the Earth against the disaster of global warming.
My final message is a thank you. Thank you to all the families and parents and carers for the important work you do every single day in raising our children. And thank you to those of you working to support these families and their children too.
Well, I don't know. I think it's as fresh as the day. I saw it not that long ago myself. I don't know when you last saw it.
Just last week.
Yeah, it's, you will have a look at it and see it.
That's amazing. So, yeah. I love that you did that so incredibly specifically. Was there one specific moment or a series of moments that led up to you knowing that you wanted to be a writer?
But then the flip side of that is that if you're constantly witnessed, then you can never really, you're too frightened to slip up or let someone see you be vulnerable. So she's constantly grappling with this need for the audience to be there to validate her and also to leave her alone so she can experience things on her own.
So there you have it, some really good examples of intonations, the different melodies in their voice. Did you hear how much more interesting the conversation was when there was an up and a down and a flow, a rising and falling? It makes the understanding or the engagement in the language much more interesting, and as you speak you will start to feel the same sort of ways where you can, there's other things that we're not talking about today where there were certain things on emphasis on particular words to give weight to what they were saying. But again, we're going to keep this in very small little batches of conversations. Today the focus is purely intonation. So in closing, I'm going to give you, each video I produce from here on out for a while is going to give you some tips to learn on your own. What I'd like you to do is think about recording yourself with these sentences using the correct intonation. And I will read those for you with the correct intonation. And then you can do that yourself. Stop the video, listen, record it yourself. Use any device, phone, it really doesn't matter. And then listen to yourself and see how you can improve your intonation by repeating. We call that drilling. The more you repeat something, the more natural it becomes to you as a second sort of language. So use this as a practice tool. And you don't have to stick to these things. You've got to think about some questions of your own. So if you're asking questions, remember the intonation will go up. If you're making statements, the intonation will go down. And then you'll have the rising and falling throughout the shopping lists, for example. But let me read these for you and then take that away with you, and hopefully will help you understand at least the beginning of intonation and what it really means. So here we go. Are you going to the cinema? Up. Are you going to the cinema? Up. It's a question. I'm going to the cinema. I'm going to the cinema. Down. You see the ending? Really? You met her? You see both up. Questions. Really? You met her? I need tea, coffee, sugar, and milk. Rise, 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 fall. I need tea, coffee, sugar, and milk. So as I say, stop the video, repeat these yourself, record yourself, and it's about self-reflection, not about self-criticism. When you're learning a new language, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Make mistakes, but understand why you're making them. That's the purpose of these videos that I hope will be able to help you. So in closing, ladies and gentlemen, folks, boys, girls, and the rest of us, I hope this has been of some use to you. We're going to focus on little bite-sized chunks of information in the next few videos that will help you perhaps improve in small ways. The small ways you improve and repeat or repetition, the more you will learn and be more comfortable with the English language. And I hope that I'll be able to help you with that. Please do consider subscribing, share the video, make comments, please. If there's stuff that you'd like me to cover, you're more than welcome to pop a little comment down below, and I'll see what I can do for you. And hopefully we build a little community together. So I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day, and we'll see you on the channel very, very soon.